always hurts it, but the truth of the matter is not everyone.
The sack.
I would like for everyone to do well, but at the end of the bad looking.
Well, it's somebody that matches your eyeshadow. It's Leshrac, nearly the same color. Coming out here for that first pick celebration. That's a pretty interesting open, Jay. I know Lesh has always had this very unique identity. So obviously, a lot about this hero. Doesn't he have some pretty counters that they banned out Nyx, which is but ways to deal with a first pick Leshrac, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean, Nick probably the one, I think, or more like carry-oriented Leshrac, but I think the fact that this hero can be flexed to the free position, we have seen during this tournament quite a bit, which we saw in NA a lot, is a big reason why you can first phase it. Something that you want to counter the Leshrac. Still this off-laning, stunning, mech-buying, pipe-buying hero that's going to take all of your towers. So counter it, well, he's still going to do all of those things, and as an off-laner, those things are very effective.
Just the ability to play Lush. Bad first. The damage output that the hero can do.
You never lack damage.
You never have to worry about damage. Oh, if you get a Ravage who's...
Yeah.
Well, many Leshracs lacking damage. Mars is going to be a hero with a checkered past in this event, but paired with an AA seems to have a decent success. You want to see more fight stuff?
Yeah,
Here.
I do. I think Mars is that hero. Pair it with an AA. All the much stronger. Both of these heroes.
Faceless Void.
Lots of these.
Okay, so speaking of damage, you know, you pick this Leshrac hero. Oftentimes, we'll see that single quick stun that lasts in it duration that you allow the Leshrac to pump out his damage. Faceless Void is basically the long cooldown, but also AoE version of the DK, where Void oftentimes lacks damage in the late game. He goes for this like gaudy tank. He's a super carry, but he lacks damage. And with the Lesh, you're never going to lack damage. Lina, we see this hero as well with the face at same pick some glass cannon to pump damage into scaling damage as well, right? It's not like the Snapfire where it falls off at a point. Lesh will never fall off for Chrono.
You have to.
Or Chrono him.
Right, if the hero that you can.
Chronoing the Lesh is a pretty play. It's one of those things where, like the Lina, I think a lot of the time you'll see like going in, entire enemy team goes on the Lina, glass cannon, and then that's when Mars ulti comes out. We see a lot of Mars with Lina. Same with the Chrono. Well, Lina out of the Chrono, that's good. These heroes act as kind of cover for the glass cannons.
I really like that point. The best way you can set up is have. And that's the best.
I think you mentioned it too on another panel, Effie, that hero just does not about Mars at all. I mean, in the game too, it's one of those things like you need more. You set up on the Void, or you need to be a really good Mars player and somehow catch him with like fear and have a really hard because the length's not that good.
Follow up now.
You need something, yeah. You need either some setup or follow up first. Otherwise, he just jumps out of the Mars arena. And
he does do that.
So isn't AA kind of a setup, you know? Beat on him and pin him, and then he longer. I mean, it's not an insta hex or a stun, but it's
that's true.
Something.
It's some combo. It's some extra damage. I mean, the cool thing about the AA now, I don't know what point this happened, but it just becomes really obvious when the hero is that if you AAQ and then stun somebody and then Mars Spear, you have another AAQ at the end of it. So you just have this like 10-second stun duration. if you can combo it, which obviously a hero like Void can just jump out of it. You have some other disable, yes, the AA is definitely something that can be follow-up stun if you have...
Absolutely. Follow-up stun. Lost from
Of course.
the Mars. Oh, will he be there? Probably not.
All right. Well, interesting to see. A lot of team fights, a lot of silences. I guess that when you pick something like a second pick, what can the enemy do inside of my Crow allies, right? So.
Well, the Invoker was played by the Wax Invoker. You have a hero like Mark. And Wax Invoker is a hero that needs kill potential side lanes. You can't go to a side lane where prioritized. So he's definitely activated Puck. Hello, just come. Probably just
On your tempo point as well, you always want to play these high tempo heroes. Another reason we see like, Drow Ranger pick up. Question is like, well, don't you just Drow? Yeah, you do. But Drow can run at towers when Chrono is down, and the Boss Wex Invoke the exact same thing. You're waiting for absolutely cooldowns. If Void uses Chrono, you just have 2 minutes of free space to run around the map, murdering everyone. Puck is very similar.
And now that you mentioned the drought, so I'm curious.
Really good versus both of these heroes. Even the Lesh, hero that kind of just runs. You're gonna get gusted. You're gonna get kited by the Drow, and then excellent with the Mars. It's a hero that can protect for the Mars.
I was wondering, Flax, when Mira play.
Even on the DL, only analysts like you could remember such facts there.
Of
But,
course, that's my name. Like, Mira, why
Does that bother you, by the way, when you see that player?
No, I'm absolutely happy. Every time I hear the caster say, "What a good play by Mira," I'm like,
Positive reinforcement.
right?
Yeah, you gotta clip those and put them on your screen. You
Right?
know?
One time Jenkins was like, "Whoa, Mira is such a genius player," and I was sitting there like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Well, I wasn't talking about the
absolutely
team
am.
spirit. I was talking about you.
Oh,
Take the compliment.
damn,
Hell.
I didn't know. That's cool.
Gracious.
That's very cool. But yeah, so Moran is a very good follow. We were talking about follow-up stuff.
Grimstroke. I mean, he does a nice chrono, and then you just get that arrow on top of your team. Heaven forbid he's super by it.
He will sidestep it. He's max moves.
Well, he should.
It doesn't take away a lot
But
of
it's like
time.
it is like area control though, right? It's like
Right.
you throw the arrow and it so slowly goes through the crowd. Come on, just go by already so I can go back in and start beating the crap out of this.
Now, there's a hero we haven't seen in a while, Grimstroke. This guy was super popular compared with Nyx Assassins. And finally gonna see up. Particular reason why in this game that he's works? I mean, I don't even see any lightning.
Strike. Grimstroke. Stroke of Fate. And if your lanes are in a good position, you can always go for it. So he's valuable in that regard, even without having. That's Inkswell and Void. There's also a hard spell coming out of Magnum Shard, which a hero like Lush. It's not a bad pick, but I really do like this ring.
What's that?
Because he lanes very well. They have a good. Obviously, he has reincarnation here. Chrono.
You know, the most annoying thing about this AA rate, goddamn skeleton. Why do these
I
things
agree.
do
I
so
agree.
much damage? Save 4 charges, and then you summon the skeletons, stun, and then AA presses 5 seconds of essentially 4 heroes hitting you. Skeletons do as much damage as half a hero. 4 of them. Ridiculous. It's legitimately very
Why do they
difficult to
do?
land.
Imagine that you die, then you wake up 100 years later. A man has dug you up, and you're skelly man. You have a sword in his hand, and then he points you at the direction of a. He is responsible. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be swinging.
You know that feeling when you're playing against a king, you pop your cleric. One of them.
And they don't de-aggro. Nothing de-aggroes them other than you going out of vision or the stun. As a Pudge player,
Here it is.
I'm offended by the existing skeletons in this hero. You have to run to base. Turn and fight them, they 1v1 you and kill you. Seriously!
Shouldn't Pudge have at least a few stacks on it? I mean, I guess if you're 40 minutes in with 0 stacks like your Pudge, they could 1v1 you.
They can. They're really powerful. Everybody underrates the skeletons. They're OP.
It's more of a.
I hope so.
It's not a one. But,
All right. Pugna banned out. I don't even remember that hero exists. Pugna, I guess pretty good at track.
That's very good.
Thank you. And not bad against Void too. He crept in the Jesus. It's been a long time since I've seen Pug.
Have you guys seen the full bot Pugna with the Holy Locket? It's legitimately ridiculous. So
Oh, no.
so strong because Pugna is a hero. That's the thing. Playing these like healing type heroes, people are experimenting with. Can I get away with the Holy Locket Neon Disc on? Those are the 2 best items on Pugna before they were good. So I do think that hero, if you had more time and there's a lot more Pugna, it maybe won't be enough time to develop the hero, but it helps a lot right now.
Interesting. Underlords. I thought a Viper, but this actually be. Do they want to play or Lush? I know that there are a lot of positions. I've been trying to expand my mind to other teams. It's probably more likely that Lush.
Remember another
Steinmute!
one of the wild cards.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Everything on the line. Last pick. It's do or die elimination series. Rest in pepper.
I don't. This doesn't.
Are there good-looking wind?
There are, yeah, absolutely. There are good-looking Wind Rangers. A hero like Lush is a. As a range, you don't like. You don't like playing. So I'm not really. All in on this. Nah.
Any quick thoughts here?
I think it looked like a really Wraith King game, but then with these last 2 picks, Viper and Under, Skeletons definitely die to the Under. It's not a hero that.
Well, all right, Effie. It looks like we have a little bit more time. Final thoughts?
I'm just trying to. Alliance would ever wacky like. I think it's a 4 and 5 Grimmin. That upsets me.
You're not the only one upset by this draft. Okay, well, let's see how quickly Alliance can win versus the last pick Wind Ranger. Very excited to see this one go down. Let's pass it over to our casters for a completely unbiased cast.
That is technically true. Thank you, panel and Sir Action Slacks. Suns fan here with Cinderin. We're matching pink, as we can see. My God, that is a very bright and vivid color. But
you specifically came into makeup today, and you were like, "Hello, I would like to have pink hair everywhere."
Well,
that's what happened.
They did give me an option of 3 colors, and I did choose pink.
What were the other 2?
Yellow and I don't remember the third.
Okay.
I don't remember colors. It's one of my deficiencies. Suns fan with Cinderin, though, we have game number 1 of this best of 3 between Alliance and Team Spirit. And we've cast a lot of Team Spirit, so we're pretty comfortable with what they have to offer. Alliance, again, we've talked about it so many times, they haven't gotten to play a whole lot. They got destroyed in the first round versus PSG LGD, probably the worst matchup for them.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
That was a tough draw for sure. One of the 2 strongest teams in the tournament right now, as it looks. Yeah, we'll see. So, obviously, in that PSG LGD series, Alliance, especially in game number 1, did not look too shabby, but ultimately they did get just a little bit outclassed. Yeah. And just LGD had a very good understanding of how to delay the game when Alliance were looking strong. Team Spirit not at PSG LGD's level based on what we've seen in groups. So going into the series, I personally think it's going to be close, just because Team Spirit really won me over during the groups. I think they had a lot of great performances in individual games. They got, I believe, a draw against EG, Vici Gaming, and I think PSG LGD as well. Actually, they did draw that series as well. Guys. So they definitely have it in them.
Thanks, guys.
And considering they got like 5 draws in the groups, what happens in the 3rd game is what we would have to see in that case if they get to a 3rd game.
We have no idea how they perform in that 3rd and crucial game, huh? I didn't even think about that. But we have, I mean, the thing, again, I'm just going to bring this up over and over again. We're just beating a dead horse here. Team Spirit just loves to pick these kind of off-meta heroes. I don't know if Wind Ranger will constitute or count as that. I mean, for Slacks, it's always out of meta, I suppose. But what are your thoughts on this hero in this game? It's going to be on Toronto, Tokyo for the mid matchup.
Yeah, it seems like they specifically picked this hero because they like the matchups. Wind Ranger, notoriously one of the best laners against Viper, because everything Viper does that kills mid is auto attack based, and you have Wind Run. So once you hit level 6, you can even pressure and try to kill the Viper if you get level 6 before Viper does especially. You can see Limp, he knows this matchup. He's not even going to skill Poison Attack. He starts out with Corrosive Skin, and he's just trying to get some CS here. We'll get the first range creep denied, however, so good start.
He also has the most hideous cosmetic set in the entire game, not just for Viper, for any hero. This thing is an absolute abomination.
Imagine being a dinosaur and you had to look at this every day. In full body.
Is that what dinosaurs look like?
Full
is that
size.
What you're trying to say?
I don't know.
It's like a pterodactyl or something? Right, well.
Like the panel predicted, it is going to be support Lesh and Grim. The Leshrac being the position 4 in this instance, being played by Hanskin. A hero that we've seen quite a bit in this tournament, but I think every game we've seen has been core. It's been 3-2, I believe, every single time, so this is refreshing. I'm personally a really big fan of the hero as a support, but I don't think it has been necessarily the best time for it. Collapse.
Yeah, that last right click was enough. That's first blood going the way of Alliance.
Did not expect that time dilation level 1 probably coming out from Nikobaby.
I mean,
this is a connection.
The Ink Swell will come out. Doesn't look like it's going to connect. Ever since they added that damage over time to the time dilation, it just felt like Void has been picked a lot more consistently. Despite, you know, the nerfs, I guess you can call it, to... I mean, the biggest difference that they made with this hero, other than that, was just not having an Ags that would lower the cooldown of your ult, because the ult is like everything about this hero, but maybe not quite as much now. Is that, you think, the biggest reason that we're seeing the hero a little bit more?
I think there's also just some types of heroes that teams gravitate more toward in the major tournaments, right? Like when the games get higher stakes, you like having late game insurance, you like having a big team fight. 2 things that Void usually brings to the table. So I think that also plays a role, but definitely he has been feeling better since the dilation change, and I'll say his talent change is a good arrow from Mira.
Yeah, is there going to be
a kill?
A tree to latch onto? Looks like it will. Not even be needed. The rebuke into the spear, and like you said, the arrow set everything up, so...
Shannon, can you explain this to me?
Yes.
He got killed by the spear.
Yeah.
Where did the body go?
The body, I feel like, should technically be pinned to the tree.
Right.
And I think if you buy back during the spear projectile, you should be spawned back into the spear tree.
And get stunned.
Yes.
That sounds great.
And then you should re-enable the buyback thing for Tiny and Timbersaw. Very important.
So something the panel were talking about was the Underlord versus Wraith King matchup, where Underlord is one of the best heroes at handling this hero because he can, you know, get multiple points in Atrophy Aura and just push out the wave with Firestorm. And when the skeletons die in the lane, you get more and more empowered as Underlord to get more CS. Clearly a counter pick here from S4, which also has synergy with Chronosphere. So I really like the idea of the Underlord here. Also works relatively well in lane with the Leshrac. You have a little bit of a setup for the Leshton. Not the best in Pit of Malice, but it's something. So, given the hero, we haven't seen very much. I believe we've seen, as a matter of fact, Team Spirit play it on Collapse. in the group stages. I think we had a game where they played it. Don't think it had too much success overall so far, though.
And Yatoro playing the Wraith King, or I guess technically this is, in fact, Skeleton King. Kind of this, I don't want to call it a pseudo-cat, it's a very common pick against a Chronosphere type hero like Void, where, you know, yeah, you might die, but you're so hard to kill a second time in a lot of the cases, so good to see for Team Spirit they're able to get something like that out there. But yeah, I agree with you as far as the assessment of this series. I do think this is going to be closer than we probably would have originally said coming into this tournament as a top lane. Okay.
Another connect.
Nikobaby. Yeah. I mean, they do have some wombo comp. I don't want to call it that, but the setup for the arrow, in theory, if you can get a spear into a tree, both technically skill shots, but one's easier to connect than the other. As a Grimstroke will fall as well.
Nice
but it's going to be missed here. And so it should be fine.
I feel like actually something we haven't really covered enough is when it comes to Faceless Void, right? We need to remember when Alliance picked this hero. They first picked Lash, and then they picked Void. Wraith King should get out of this alive.
Firestorm is ticking him down. Whew.
He actually died.
Percentage base damage.
So what if I swagger? He dies 2 seconds later. It's great. So when Alliance picked Void second in this draft, obviously you're going to see Team Spirit try to find some solutions. They already had the AA, but the Mirana 4 is actually a very good hero against Faceless Void. So the way you usually kill this hero is one of two ways. Either you bully him in lane by just constant harassment, like with something like Venomancer, you know, like that Time Walk doesn't work against, or you have overwhelming stun duration, so Time Walk can't really be used effectively, and that's where Mirana really comes into play. She's a good counter. She even has the added benefit of having Moonlight Shadow, and Void, what kills Void usually, you get caught off guard. So you come out of Invis, you hit him with a spear into that arrow. As was pointed out here by Scraper Observer for the series, Windrainer's getting absolutely destroyed by Limp. I am very surprised.
Yeah, this is an absolute dumpster. He's almost a full level ahead, and obviously the CS is not remotely close. Of course, Limp is going to be a little bit more proficient at taking out a lot of these small camps, so it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's deceiving, but it's a little bit more than you would think.
This is an 800 gold lead with no kill. That is crazy.
I mean,
at 6.
The entire lead for Alliance right now is that right now. So
Limp is a very proficient laner.
he's going to get his Viper Strike off. Actually, bottles the haste rune as well. Toronto Tokyo knows he won't live through this, so has to just TP out to be able to survive. And now Mira found on the wrong side. Oh, the double leap. I like that.
He needs to TP though.
Well, doesn't look like he's going to find, but he does find a stack, and that might be more valuable than a Mirana kill, in all honesty.
It honestly is, yeah.
Whew. Yeah, Limp off to an incredible start right now.
He is definitely doing a great job.
I mean, tell me about this, as we're going to see in here. Pit of Malice, he actually has to walk a very awkward place. Awkward route, I should say, to the top. So a nice Pit of Malice overall from S4, but I mean, you have a Faceless Void pick, and you don't really have that much follow-up. Like, it's not a wombo combo type thing. You have Firestorm, which obviously scales into the late game. This is a support Lesh.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? Is that an issue?
It's only an issue if you have to use Chrono on a key target that is not Wraith King, and your lineup relies on bursting. I don't think Alliance's lineup needs to start with Chrono at all. I think they could get an Atos and Underlord. Oh man, start that way.
This is a long chase. This is going to be a double root on top of the Firestorm as well. So another death for Yatoro. He might have to just go in the jungle at this point.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting pairing. Leshrac is one of the few heroes who has a stun that doesn't scale in duration. It starts on 2 seconds at the beginning of the game, and the thing that scales up is the radius and the damage. Most other stuns, or at least many of them, scale in duration. And I think the reason that Alliance really like this lane with Underlord is that because it's such a strong stun level 1, if you do connect it on Pit of Malice, that's a guaranteed double snap. And you saw this ensure them this kill on Wraith King and ensure a lot of pressure on him beforehand. So they are definitely off to an awesome start here. Only really one hero thriving on Team Spirit, and that is the Mars. I guess Mirana's also okay-ish. She obviously got bullied a lot there by the Viper haste rotation that we just saw a moment ago. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit concerned for Spirit with this start.
Ooh, Split Up will not connect on double damage. And this is gonna be a huge kill for Toronto Tokyo, considering the lead that Limp had at that point.
That is a big one.
Nice pickup. We're gonna see Chronosphere in the top lane, but not a whole lot of damage to follow this up with. In fact, the Mirana arrow is going to come from the other side. He's got his teammate in there as well. And the Shackle Shot does connect. Nikobaby, no time walk for another 8 seconds. Collapse. Might be able to get a little bit more here.
Almost missed.
Yeah. Wind Ranger for the win. Toronto Tokyo with a triple kill across 2 lanes.
What a bizarre way to find a triple kill. You find a DB, kill the Viper in the river.
Yeah.
You TP top, power shot a guy who's chronoed by his own teammate.
Yeah.
And then you run down the 3rd guy with your Mars. And yeah, that's all right. That's basically Alliance's entire lead.
He's back.
Is gone from that sequence.
Miposhka getting pushed out of this lane for now. Just inside this tree line here. Not quite level 6 right now.
He is in trouble now.
If he pops the Diabolic Edict, then he's gonna
did S4 just phase move straight through him?
Not gonna connect. Yeah, Miposhka, nice.
Actually worked against him. He would have blocked him.
Mira gets a nice Star Storm off, but looks like they will defend this, surprisingly enough. I mean, Handskin, the Diabolic Edict, not really applying to the tower for too long, so.
Are they gonna just keep Miposhka parked down here to just take experience? He's already level 6, minute 9, so will not need the tome. They may even give the tome to Wraith King at this rate, who's also only level 6, as Mirana has been having a pretty good time, so she should be able to find her level 6 down here in just a second with another wave. Yeah, I would like to see that tome go on a core, because I don't think these levels on the supports are massively impactful. There are some supports where getting level 7, 8, 9, 10 is like massive. This does not feel like one of those games. Oh, that is not a good spear.
It is not, but they probably have enough damage after the fact. So all is well for Team Spirit there.
Nice.
Bottom lane. Yeah, they're going to take Handskin out, and now S4 on the run. Both Mira and Miposhka. I mean, these are the 2 supports kind of bullying this lane right now.
All right.
As we have Wind Ranger again taking a Viper strike to the face with a focus fire. MD power shot is going to connect. He's actually just going to die. Didn't really have much to do there, but did quite a bit of damage to Limp in the meantime.
Big kill, so Limp is back at the top of the board. Grabbing that one, he overtakes S4 once again. I will say, I've played quite a lot of support Leshrac, and I really enjoy it when the lane goes well and you can kind of snowball. We'll wait on that for a second.
They know that he wanted to come Diabolic Edict that tier 1 tower.
Let's see you next game.
And this is a very safe and well-executed kill from Team Spirit.
He's struggling on Lesh, and if you have a good start and you're snowballing and you get to go and Edict towers, it feels amazing. He's bottom net worth as position 4 Lesh. This hero does not play well from behind.
With a bash into the Inkswell, and with Limp here, that's going to be a clean kill for Alliance this time around. So Collapse takes a tumble.
Nico's going Maelstrom. I'm not sure what guides you as Void between Midas, Maelstrom, Mask of Madness, and Battle Fury. I think Battle Fury just is not in fashion right now, right? It's too slow.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the reasoning is for not rushing Mom or Midas here with the start that he had. Maybe he feels like he's a little bit too far behind. Maybe he thinks they need the damage in early fights from the Maelstrom. He will get Mask of Madness after this, I'm almost certain. But sometimes you see them bought in reverse order.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto Tokyo going for, I mean, the Maelstrom as well, so that's way more standard. I feel like that's almost always the first pickup for these mid-Wind Rangers anyway.
Yeah, it's either that or Javelin to BKB. Those are the 2 primary
Collapse and company are smoked now. He doesn't quite have his Blink Dagger, about 300 off from finishing that. But if they can get a nice kill here into the enemy jungle, see if they have any stacks available to take. Doesn't look like
smoke
that.
right here from FNG.
Yeah, FNG. He gets the silence off to start things off. Inkswell will connect, but he might get propped here by the cold feet. Nope, but the magic damage is going to be way too much to deal with, but still, they'll take that, I think.
It was such a good smoke break, and then he just ran into them and died. I don't even know if he had to die there. I think breaking the smoke might have been enough. But he wanted to be 100% sure he protects his core, so he leads the enemy team astray, and the big boy, Void, well, he's not the big boy right now, but the goal is for him to become the big boy. Yep, that's indeed the big boy. Griff Underlord is a very big boy.
I mean, let's go back to this conversation about not having a huge amount of follow-up into the Chronosphere, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Void is kind of here you just need a bunch of items before you can actually kill people yourself in the Chronosphere. Correct. So usually, if you have a team that, like a Cataclysm or some crazy spell like that, AA even, to accompany you, can help, you know, get some good Chronospheres in the meantime until you are that far. But they don't really have that. So what's the plan here exactly from Alliance, from a carry perspective?
I think the plan is to start fights with the Underlord Atos. That's the timing they're waiting for. S4 is relatively close to it. You can Atos into Pit of Malice with Firestorm on top and Viper's Nether Toxin. It's actually a kill combo. It does so much damage when they stay in this forever. I want to say Pit of Malice into Atos into second Snap of Malice is like about 5 seconds total route. That is enough to get Nether Toxin to max DPS, and that hurts a hell of a lot, and you're obviously going to put Viper Strike on top of it. So that's how you're going to start fights. And if Team Spirit try to respond, that's when the chrono comes in and you get that big follow-up with something else on top. Because if you, like, let's say realistically you start with Void Chrono, who are you going to chrono? You're not chronoing Wraith King, that feels bad. You might chrono Mars, but he has a Blink Dagger. And then finally there's a Wind Ranger, but if Wind Ranger gets Wind Run off, she might live too.
Blast pops that Mars all into
Nikobaby.
the arrow. Absolutely a kill onto Nikobaby, like you said.
Sharks are better in the river.
Power shot's going to connect into the focus fire in the top lane. S4 does have Dark Rift, but it wouldn't have gone off in time.
Are you sure?
I mean,
That took a long
level 1 Dark Rift is absolute
That is
utter garbage.
True.
I mean, how many times do you think, oh, this will work? It never does. Let's be real.
It was a long kill, though. It took him like 10 seconds, so who knows? The hood definitely worked for him there.
Yeah, so a couple nice kills here for Team Spirit. And back to the, again, back to this Chronosphere talk. I'm not saying that the Nether Toxin and Firestorm aren't a lot of damage, but they have to be in position, as opposed to having a hero like we talked about, the Sunstrike or Cataclysm from the, it's just all global at that point, right?
Almost landing a shackle.
Blast coming in, will connect onto one, but the Chronosphere misses for Nikobaby into a pause. Kale incoming, I do believe.
The instant pause.
There's no way that's real.
You saw him smiling on the camera shot. Dude, that's great. Like, I genuinely believe him. He just realizes like how funny that is, right? Like, that situation's pretty funny. He's got a smile on his face. That's good to see.
That's hilarious.
Funny thing, that was about the exact same spot that Monet missed his chrono last game.
It was way over to the left by the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it was like the same general area.
It's the same quarter of the map, sure.
Yep, same quadrant.
As we see the Dark Rift, this time it should be enough, I think.
Oh, he's absolutely getting out. You're right. It was not even close.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Cinder.
It was actually nice to see Scriff highlight on the last attempted kill, or the last successful kill, rather, on Underlord. He checked the kill recap and saw the number of seconds that the kill took. I think it was 7. Oh.
It was 7 what? What do you mean?
He had he checked the kill recap of the Underlord top, and it took them 7 seconds to kill him.
Oh, I
So
see.
that way you can tell that casting the Underlord ulti would have been tough, right? Because he was stunned by Shackle Shot.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So probably the right call not to try.
Wraithing right now,
This is
sitting
a
on
mid tower.
Is a Hannah Midas and 2K in the bank for that upcoming Radiance.
And who is killing the tower right now?
The Siege.
The boys. It's the boys.
The boys.
The boys died. The tower got... You were right. The tower got destroyed by the siege creep.
Thank you, Cinderin.
You're welcome.
You're doing a great job today. A bounty rune spawn for Mira. What a great turn of events with that shovel. Do you min-max that thing, by the way? Do you keep it the whole game in your backpack?
I like to do that when I have the inventory space. The problem with the shovel is that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy problem, where you dig up so much stuff that you don't have space for the shovel.
That is true.
At some point, but as long as you have space in your inventory, it's just like, why not?
Do you know that has pseudo-random RNG? Because I feel like I've been on some tears with like 15 uses in a row, no bounty.
I think it's true random, actually.
Yeah, that would make sense.
One of the few things that is true random in the game.
Very unfortunate. Please fix in next patch, thank you.
I'm a sucker for pseudo-random in Dota.
This would be a huge kill. Yatoro has 3,200 in the bank. Might have to buy the... No, he's fine, actually.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
They need Underlord for this kill. Okay, that's a nice
blast
one.
coming in. It will not clip anybody. They might still want to fight here. Toki's going to get
double Atos.
Atos there with that Soul Mind. FNG is not going to be able to connect on his Ink Swell, and just like that, they're just, wow, he's actually taking so much damage. Look at, oh my god, the Ice Vortex into the power shot just blows him up. It's ridiculous. It's such a low commitment combo.
He didn't have Pit ready, right? He got a double Atos on the Soulbind, but then didn't have his own follow-up to make a double snap. Or did he get Shackle Shot? He got stunned? I didn't. Okay, that's a yes. That's Observer for yes.
Yes.
When the mouse goes up and down.
Our observers.
Yes. Because that would have been really good for Alliance, right? That Pit would have set up a double
oh yeah, that would have been pretty
into Grimstroke stun, and they would have reinforced, so... Good job from Toronto Tokyo to disrupt that.
Toronto Tokyo. There's the Pit of Malice.
Giga dead.
And yeah, very, very dead indeed. Looks like S4 gets credit for that one with that Firestorm. But I think the real thing that Spirit are waiting for is this Radiance. And he is not too far away. His Collapse. Looks like he'll find a kill on FNG using that Mars ult.
And this is a very good Radiance game. There are... Actually, you know what? I take it back a little bit. He is playing against Soulbind, right? So there will be one illusion that can be created if he, you know, gets all the way to X on Grimstroke. But for the most part in this game, like realistically speaking, considering it's a 5 Grim, it is a stable Radiance game. I like Radiance as a go-to for Wraith King in games where the enemy team has no illusion mechanisms. If they have even one, I don't like it very much. Like if you're playing against, say, Darkseer, as the key example. Against Shadow Demon, you can handle it if you press one button, as Envy has discovered, hopefully, at this point. I believe you cast a game in the NADPC where Radiance was being not toggled off during an entire game with Disruption. Ill-advised, but that is not the case.
Well, technically Lyrical cast that, but yeah, shout out to him. He, yeah, that was painful to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And I know that Curtis, who was also casting that game, had messaged AOI or had messaged Envy after the game, reminding him that he could do that.
It's a nice salt in the wound after you lose a very close 80-minute game or whatever it was.
By the way, you could have won the game easily by doing this.
It's pressing a button, yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, no illusions on Alliance, so this Radiance will be nice. And not only for the offensive damage potential, but obviously you're playing into Viper as well as Void. So it's a feels good pickup here.
Yeah, for sure. He's only 300 away, and the Animajor is getting him halfway there. So this is, I mean, the timing isn't the best we've seen, but it feels like he's just, I mean, he did go for the phase boost, so that put him back a little bit farther than we're used to seeing. So not too bad overall, as long as you can get that before 20 minutes. And Limp, on the other hand, we've seen this so many times, the Dragon Lance into the Boots of Travel. Obviously going for BKB next, actually has enough here in just a moment. So that's a bit of a power spike for him. Very, very tanky indeed, and can be all over the map. And yeah, Radiance is now on the way for Yatoro, so I assume, correct me where I'm wrong here, that Spirit will probably want to start fighting now. And if they can get that pick off, I mean, Roshan has just been the biggest objective in every single game, it feels like, in this tournament. So it's just going to come down to
Good Athos.
Yep, Marzel comes out, creates a little bit of space for Collapse, and he's going to survive as a result of this, doing a little bit of chip damage to Limp in the meantime.
Has to use Arena, and they also use Moonlight. Let's see if they can use that offensively. A bit of harass on TS4, but nothing too major. Alliance want to look to push this mid-tier 1 tower with the siege creep that they have right now. Good timing. The Shrek level 11 definitely wants to get in there and be valuable with Diabolic Edict, but...
Yeah, Arrow's going to connect. A blast to follow. That is going to hit S4 squarely in the face. He's already at half HP. Aegis going to get bursted down. Soulbind used in a defensive manner. But here comes the aggression from Team Spirit. They get a second kill off the back of this. Limp has to pop his BKB and TP out. Will be successful. This tier 1 tower is saved for now.
They were so ready.
And Team Spirit could potentially just go Roche right now. I'm not sure how fast they'll take it. But Wraith King does hit hard.
You know, you feel tanky as Underlord, right? Like, you're like, okay, I'm a tanky guy, I'm farmed this game, I can walk in here next to the tower and give some sort of information. He just got hundreds to zeroed.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of damage from Team Spirit coming out. It's a bit deceptive just how much damage these guys can pump out. Oh, I don't know if I like this Leshrac build. That's a little bit dicey.
All right, what's he going for?
First item, Aeon Disc.
Wow.
I'm not sold.
Oh, that rebuke was way off kilter there. And not the greatest combo, but they'll get the kill. That's all that matters for Team Spirit there. In the meantime, looks like the first life of Mr. Wraith King will come about. Nikobaby is available with that Chronosphere. See the Ink Swell, they're going to use it onto the Chronosphere on the 2. This will be a kill on the Wraith King, who is now showing off that beautiful Radiance. Collapse pops his BKB, but the Mars ult really just using a defensive manner again to zone. And they're just going to cut their losses here, it looks like.
Yep. Toronto, Tokyo's time to be overconfident with his tankiness. Sure, you've got 2 lives, but you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's not Toronto.
That is correct.
That Wind Ranger is Toronto Tokyo.
You are absolutely
correct. By the way,
correct.
he's had a, I have to say, he's had a standout performance.
King, not Toronto Tokyo.
Yes,
Yatoro.
Wraith King has had a
Yatoro.
A little bit, that was a bit iffy, for sure.
Did you know that the 4 last letters of Yatoro's nickname are the first 4 letters of Toronto Tokyo's nickname?
Is that true? I don't feel like even thinking about it.
Is Taro the same as Taro? Yes, it is.
Are you saying it's a palindrome, Syndra?
That is not what that is.
Just stop talking.
Yeah.
It's too early in the morning for this conversation. I can't take it anymore. Toronto Tokyo, as we talked about, now has the BKB and going for the Boots of Travel. Okay. You think that's a little greedy right now, or do you like this?
I don't know. It might... it's probably okay. Like if you think about how this player plays for this team, right? He loves playing split push. We saw him do a great job on puck in the group stage, in the deciding game against Team Liquid, as a matter of fact. Yeah. His puck largely kept them in the game. So I think some of these younger core players have a really good understanding of map dynamics. That's when to push lanes, how to put pressure in different spots. So I don't mind it for that. In terms of just raw fighting potential, it's not a very high value item on Windranger in general. She gets fast move speed from Windrun anyway. And can relatively easily connect regardless, but you said this will go the way of Toronto Tokyo.
Yep, free Aegis for Mr. Windranger now, or Mrs. or Miss. I don't actually know her history, but yep. It'll be.
This tower is falling.
Yeah, I thought they were actually trading that tier 2 bot. I'm not sure how low it is right now, but at the very least, Team Spirit will get the tier 2 top. You can get a little vision from Arrow.
Perimeter. There's nothing here, and Collapse will get that top. They're looking
a bunch of TPs. There's already a half HP. Hanskin has the Diabolic Edict applying. Mira jumps in with the Star Storm. Shackle shot onto the Viper. A-Blush coming from afar. Collapse gets off a nice spear, but the Underlord ult will send the whole team back to base. Now that it's level 2, it's useful again. Very good.
Oh, the tower actually still fell. It got denied, but this means that the outpost is open. The first tier 2 tower claimed by Alliance. Obviously, we have already seen Team Spirit get theirs in the top area, get an outpost themselves. So, reckon this could be an area for a team fight. Obviously, the area you really want access to now as Team Spirit is the Alliance Triangle. Since you've already unlocked the top side, you can ward this offensively and then make a smoke move across and try to take a fight there. You have the Aegis advantage. You have 2 lives on Wraith King. You're actually very, very strong right now. So wouldn't be surprised with this Boots of Travel pickup if they do a 4-man smoke and then have Toronto Tokyo push a different lane and connect. Can connect on, I believe he can fully connect on the Wraith King skeletons, but obviously needs to be careful that it doesn't get killed while he's TPing in. Yeah. But they do have the option, at least, of pre-using those before they initiate and then traveling to connect with the team.
You can see FNG, like he talked about. I mean, he has Aether Lens and wants to go for Ags. Whether he'll get that or not is another question, but obviously the Dark Portrait will be created for the Wraith King.
Radiance. If Yatoro doesn't here, this is
by FNG. Inkswell, actually, does it actually go off if dispelled? Is that how it works?
If he dies, it doesn't go off, I believe.
I thought he died before when. Okay, we'll watch.
Wait, did he stun him?
No, I thought that he died before it should have gone up and it went off anyway. I don't know how that actually interacts, but we're going to see the Atos into the pit, so that's a double root. The Mars ult is out here, but Nikobaby pops the BKB, not able to actually find a kill. And remember, this is 3v5 disadvantage for Alliance, so a little bit...
Yep. Simultaneously, Windranger did solo kill Leshrac bottom, so they got those 2 kills at 2 different sides of the map, and yeah, that was like the perfect display of what you were talking about. Void can't solo kill even the position 4. In a full duration chrono where he's uncountered with this itemization, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on bypassing Mask of Madness this game. I think that's really integral to finding kills for their lineup right now.
I mean, if he gets the MKB before they've lost racks, that's when he can start killing
that
people,
right there is a kill with Mom, right?
True.
It is. It just is. So...
All right, Yatoro getting chased here. Has his level 3 ultimate now, so it's going to be really annoying to deal with. Of course, the Aegis is not on him right now. See if they can burst him down. They'll be able to do so pretty easily on the outskirts of this bit of Malice. Chronosphere is applied with the BKB, and yeah, with that Alliance, have to kind of rethink the strategy, although they're going to go back in now that the Chronosphere is down. Soulbind onto 2. Looks like he's just going to run away successfully. And the root does connect onto Mira, but is walking away successfully and Collapse with that blink. No Mars ult for 7 seconds, so
kind of a spicy situation here for Team Spirit. Again, Yatoro just really posing on the map in a position that he's not really covered in. So I don't know if this is like intentional mind games or if he's kind of just overextending a little bit. Sure, he got away with murder there, but I don't know if you could just give him full credit for knowing that he was fine. Obviously, the BKB keeps him alive during the chrono in the second life. So at least he definitely was accounting for that, but that was dangerous. His teammates had a long way to run and they never connected. Nearing a BKB.
Yeah, that's on Collapse. He's gonna find FNG. Yeah, Arena's out. Spear connects and down he goes. So a support kill. Of course, we've talked about this so many times. Mars ult, even at this stage of the game, I mean, it's a low cooldown, so just using it to get 1 pickup, even if it's on position 5, is perfectly fine. It's not like a Ravage or anything like that.
This tower is also going down. Wait, what? He has dewarded 20 wards?
Is that real? That can't be.
Is he just placing sentries in the fountain and denying them and casting Ice Blasts all game?
Is that a real stat?
Has he? What?
I don't know if that's real.
I mean, even if you combine ops and sentries, dewarding 20 wards in 28 minutes is...
Yeah, that's not possible.
a Guinness World Record.
Does Guinness do Dota World Records? I'm not sure.
I think Dota has been in the Guinness Book of Records before.
Yeah, but for like biggest prize pool probably or something like that.
Either that or on average least happy player or something like that.
The crippling.
There's nothing to shackle
Shot
through
will
there.
not connect. It looks like Alliance are more scared of the Wind Ranger. I believe the timer at the top right, unless they, yeah,
They
I was
just
going
don't.
to say it's not correct, so it's extended now. And the Dark Rift, will they? Yeah, they'll be able to get out pretty easily here.
It still is, the way this game is developing really is Team Spirit favorite though.
Arena into the spear, and Yataro's here with the stun as well. This looks like an easy kill onto the lane. Will this be enough? It looks like he might survive. Actually, waits for a kill and crit him right in the back of the head despite using that BKB. Ends up being a wasted charge and a pretty high value kill for Team Spirit.
I was sure he was going to die before he even got BKB one, but just barely.
Oh, did it? Okay, go back to Void here, Mr. Spectator, if you could real quick. Is he going? Okay, sorry, I just clicking on somebody else. I was gonna say I thought he switched from MKB to Ags. I'm like, wow, that's a little crazy, but
Alliance are struggling though. Like they're not. It's not just that they're 7,000 gold behind. It's that nothing really seems to be happening. Like they're not connecting plays. They seem to have a little bit of a damage problem, and with the position of the map and how Team Spirit are playing and how they're utilizing Wind Ranger, which I'm sure Slacks will be absolutely thrilled about seeing Wind Ranger actually doing
yeah, he's dead again.
It's difficult to walk out on the map because if you walk out alone, Wind Ranger can solo almost any of your heroes with her current level of farm. And if you group up when you move out, there are multiple targets that you kind of don't want to find, right? Like you don't really want to find Wind Ranger. She can react and blink out.
Oh, Toronto Toki with a focus fight. You can see the Eon does proc. He's just going to try to sidestep this split earth and he'll be successful. Nice kill from Toronto Toki. Didn't even have to bother popping the BKB. It's still the full 9 seconds on it.
I feel like Alliance really rely on some sort of successful smoke move where they kind of have to find Wind Ranger, right? Like nothing else is really going to cut it. If you find Wraith King, it takes really long time for their lineup to kill him twice. If you find Mars, you could probably kill him, but it'll be a big commitment. And your map is just really, you're kind of strangled on the map right now. Like they're controlling your triangle. You feel like you can't really access it. Wind Ranger is just moving completely freely because of this bot's pickup, going from lane to lane whatever way she pleases. I don't know, Alliance seem intimidated. Like they're waiting for something. I don't think it gets easier.
Yeah, Wraith King, Taro picks up an Assault Cuirass. I mean, I feel like with all these items he's building, we've talked about this before, but the Dark Portrait potential from FNG, if he's able to get that Axe, becomes even stronger.
That is
both
true.
with Radiance and Assault. He's about 1,800 from finishing that. But yeah, 11k net worth advantage for Team Spirit now. As we're going to see a smoke here from Alliance. They have everything online. We'll see if they can get this Wombo combo going with, I guess their version is the Nether Toxin and Firestorm, namely into Soulbind.
We're in a tough spot now for Alliance, right? Because the only catch you have now that's reliable is actually Chrono. The Atos of Underlord has been overpowered now by items, and starting with Chrono is proving to be really, really difficult against their lineup. So it's kind of, this is the risk you take when you take a support duo like this, right? Like it's Leshrac Grimstroke. Who's setting each other up? Nobody's setting each other up. And he went Aeon this first item, not something like Yule's where he can make his own like plays or whatever, just staying alive. But so they don't really have that catch that a lot of the successful lineups in this tournament have run stuff like DK, right? Like some sort of easy way to start DK, Puck, these kind of heroes that just commit something to start. Even Mars with the arena. It's not Chronosphere tier in how crucial it is to land correctly, and it deals damage, which is something Void can't say for himself with the Chrono. So,
yep.
We had this smoke just did nothing. They found nothing.
Yeah, they smoked out, and then Team Spirit scanned them around the pits, and they thought they were going for an early roach, but they obviously found that that's not the case. Now a counter scan from Alliance, basically in the same area, was successful as well. So they have a general idea that Team Spirit is in the vicinity, so they obviously have to be careful. Limp does have the Scotty, so that's going to be pretty good against the Wraith King.
They have damage.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can Alliance kill a single BKB'd hero? Let's say AA had a BKB. Would it die in Chrono if it BKB'd right now?
AA?
Yeah, let's say AA had a BKB.
Yeah.
Can they do 1500 physical damage in a chrono when he BKBs? With their heroes?
I think so. If it's
So,
an AA.
so barely.
Barely. I
Yeah.
had to think about it, so it's
That's
barely.
concerning, right? Like
Yeah.
if we have to... Okay, this is Toronto Toka. Dagger.
Now BKB is popped into the Chronosphere, and that's going to put this to the test here, Cinder. And do they have enough damage to follow this up with? It's going to be close. Finally gets the bash, and it takes forever, but they do get the kill in the end. But Grimstroke falls. Remember, Red King's still very healthy. Collapse gets a Marvels up on the two. The Darkness coming out. He's going to try to take Nikobaby with him. Will anybody else come with? It's the question. It's like 3 of them are going to go activate for no. The boy dies in the meantime. Astro cancels the ult, and now he gets cripped out by Yatoro. A 3 for 1. Make it 4. He canceled that, right?
They thought they were winning the fight.
Absolutely, and now their entire team is dead. Collapse gets out just a sliver of HP.
They did not win the fight.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Cinder. I think we can all see that
Yes.
they definitely did not win this fight.
If you're new to Dota, Alliance lost this fight. All of their heroes died.
You should make guides on YouTube. Obvious guide by Cinderin.
The intro guide to Purge's guide. Dead bad.
Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. I mean, 16k advantage for Team Spirit. They're gonna be able to get, I believe, at least one full set of racks, pending any buybacks here.
So like you see it there, right? Yeah, you do kill the Wind Ranger, but they needed to chrono, commit fully on it for like the entire chrono went to killing this one hero, and he needed help. They needed to use all their own defensive items to even be able to deal damage, and then they lost the 4v5 up.
Well, the Dark Rift was they were fine.
Right,
Like
yeah,
if they went
could've
back, then that's a one fight. Right?
Absolutely, it could have been a draw, or well, a slight win, right? Because you lost Grimstroke, I think, in the opener.
So you're saying Grimstroke for Wind Ranger is even?
No, it would have been a win, but it wouldn't have been a big one, right? And this would have been the end outcome regardless.
That's true.
When Chrono, if you use Chrono in a game like this and you don't win the fight convincingly, you're giving up control of the map again, and this is going to easily go the way of Team Spirit.
Aegis, Cheese, Shard. AA already has Shard, so that gives the Ice Vortex damage over time, so you can actually push waves. And the Shard, yeah, this is one of my favorites in the game. So Spear can hit 2 people now.
I can see it this game.
Inside that arena, very strong, and it does damage over time as well as slows. So
He's against a lineup that needs to come in close to deal damage, so getting double spears is way more likely here. You're against Leshrac needs to come in close, Voig needs to come in close, Underlord
but
wants to come in
Cinderin,
close.
FNG has Aghanim Scepter now.
That is true.
This is Dark Portrait, so you can just, it's a single target spell applied to an enemy here, which will be Wraith King. It creates a very powerful illusion. It does more damage, theoretically, than Wraith King himself.
That is true. Well, depending on what items he has.
Yes, that is true. It does a lot of damage. It's very strong.
And they do have, obviously, the natural synergy of having Dark Rift with Dark Portrait. So if you're into any sort of Pokemon, this is a very strong synergy. Somehow.
Yes, they definitely see you create an illusion and then TP away.
And then you
from everybody. Very good synergy.
And then you cancel it.
Well, we've seen that. It didn't work out too well for Alliance.
Here comes the high ground.
Indeed. So 21k
Double siege creep.
now. Yeah,
and the boys are tanking.
You can see the Spear of Mars Shard doing work on the trees in that top area.
Leshrac with the Shard is he's pulsing Split Earths.
Yeah, Leshrac has that really annoying Shard. Everybody seems to love this thing.
That is one thing Alliance's lineup is very good at, I will say. It is amazing when fights are contained in one area. Pit of Malice, Chronosphere, Split Earth Shard, Soulbind. Very nice. But they are also 21k behind and have almost no space on the map to work with. And their heroes are so extremely dependent on each other that finding moves as like a duo seems challenging. Like, what 2 heroes are you going to go with to find a kill on Wraith King, to find a kill on Mars, to find a kill on Wind Ranger? It's almost impossible to see it without Chrono. It feels like a necessity for every kill.
The blow of Wraith King once.
Yeah, just
Pit of Malice is a
needs to
pretty good
BKB,
tool here.
actually.
Yeah, BKB, Dark Portrait. Get some creep kills. Yeah, that's the most farm you got in quite a while there. Beautiful. You can make up for this Aghanim Scepter easily. That 4,200 gold's nothing for this illusion, Cinderin.
Yeah, look
at this thing.
Look at it go.
Look at it. Oh, yeah. Looks so menacing, too. I love the color. It's so nice.
Damn, Nikobaby's Wraith King is really strong here. The actual carry of Alliance right now is Grimstroke.
Okay, is there any... obviously, the AC you don't want to get rid of, but is there any way that you just disable your Radiance until he Dark Portraits and then enable it again? Is that actually a play?
It is a play.
Is it a good play?
I think so, actually. I don't think it's that difficult to do, right? In the heat of the moment, Grimstroke is probably not going to be checking all the time whether you have Radiance off or on.
Yeah, for sure not.
And it's not that crucial in the beginning of the fight. It's crucial once Chrono comes out, right? Can you toggle Radiance when you're Chrono? I think you can't.
I don't think so, yeah.
It freezes everything, right?
Yeah.
So it is very nice for him to have that active, just in case of some misses coming out from someone during the Chrono.
Yeah.
But either way, I wouldn't be too concerned for Team Spirit right now. You saw Alliance, yeah, they get 1 kill on Wraith King there.
Use their strength against them, young man.
They take his ulti off and they force the BKB, but that was like a 4-man rotation into their own triangle, and they did not get the triangle back.
Level 25 for Yatoro, I assume. Yeah, he took the crit. 25 talent.
Incredible talent.
Takes it from 4 seconds to 2. So basically every other attack or every 3 attacks basically is a crit. Very nice.
Crazy talent.
Yeah. Since they swapped skills with Chaos Knight, Wraith King has felt much better to play, I have to say, and CK not so much. Back to RNG for him, it seems.
Very fitting for the hero, though.
Yeah. Although his ult, I don't think gives an extra illusion a percentage of the time anymore, so technically not all his skills have RNG anymore.
I think his win rate is random, though.
That's true. It's usually on the downside, though, so maybe it's not as random.
Whenever you go into the game and you check, inside the game you check the Heroes tab to see the win rate for Chaos Knight, it is different every game, so you don't really know.
Okay, so it's like a hidden mechanic there. I kind of like that. Okay. And I think another mechanic behind the hero is when you get Aghanim Scepter, which creates an illusion of every hero on the map, it gives a random number of FPS for each individual person, usually single digits, just a couple seconds.
Actually, the legit strat of playing Chaos Knight together with PL and Monkey King.
Yeah. Oh, God, the two things that will never get fixed. Okay.
All right, they've set a trap
Toronto,
here.
Tokyo. He sure does. Hit him out to start thinking, oh my God.
Easily.
They destroy him so fast. Has to pop the BKB instantly now. Chrono is going to set it up before he can even do so. So this is going to be an easy double, basically, for Alliance. They're going to buy back. Yeah, they're coming in. Collapse. He's going to be inside the split Earth for now. Now that that Chronosphere is down, we'll see if they can burst him down with that Focus Fire. Looks like Toronto Tokyo is going to do so very easily. And now Alliance trying to get the hell out. I'm not sure if he used the Dark Rift already, but doesn't have it available right now. They're going to get rid of Wraith King for once. He'll come back shortly and likely just clean up this fight and almost certainly the game to follow. As S4 kind of stuck on the wrong side of the trees there. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 with the buyback, if you want to call it that. But
I think they used Dark Rift to set up the kill, right?
Oh, okay.
Because if not, that is a clean disengage. The moment that buyback comes out, Dark Rift, everyone get together, get out. But they end up fragmenting because the Mars comes in with the arena, right? You see it's on cooldown currently. So Nico is splitting off to the left. He just gets chased down and killed by Windranger. Nothing he can do. It's a really good hero against Faceless Void. Once Chronos expended, you just sit on him until he dies, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was very, very easy for Team Spirit with that buyback.
See him on the high ground already. Yatoro getting healed a bit here. Buyback now onto S4 and onto Limp.
He's in really far on Yatoro. He could be on cooldown.
He still has that second life. He's going to blink out with that Mars ult being used to try to operate a little zoning mechanism here. Looks like there's going to be a dieback onto S4 after the buyback here. So a very valuable kill again. They're going to buy back on the Mirana now. They really want to finish this now. They're going to apply all the pressure to Hanskin, who gets slapped in the face, and now Limp on the other side. Toronto Tokyo pops the BKB with that Focus Fire. Another dieback, and they know that Chronosphere is down, so they're not really fearing the Void necessarily. So it's a 5v3. We'll see what Team Spirit can do here. Or Alliance, for that matter. I mean, Nikobaby does have the MKB. I mean, that took him, sadly, I mean, obviously they're behind, but it took him way longer than he would have liked.
Yeah.
He just hasn't really had that long enough to really make a big difference here. You can see he's actually toggling the Radiance. He's waiting for this Dark Force. He's going to jump the Grimstroke. Looks like he's not even going to need to. A double crit, basically. Yatoro destroys him. And Nikobaby, Spirit Vessel right now, I think they can just focus on Billings if they really want. And they're going to do just that. Just have to stay on the outskirts of this annoying split Earth. In the meanwhile, Collapse just soloing down the Lesh, and Nikobaby, the last remaining member for Alliance. Buyback available on Grim, but it's not really going to matter. GGs are called. And yeah, Alliance, they are 0-3 at the major right now.
And this was not even close.
Well, for the first 10 minutes, it's kind of...
Yeah, at every turn they just got outplayed. The moves that were successful